What's up, Eugen?
Let's go. I'm in the building. First, let's start with the stuff. It's a bit more already, and it's coming soon. So the team frames first, I think. Yeah, they have a bunch of team frames coming. I think in total it's 6 different ones. But it's kind of complicated because it's coming Fluid 4 model, and it also will come at Fluid 5 model.
Correct.
Yeah.
The same designs, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But it will be like a really funny mix of prints, but also laser prints. So some of them will have like the classic stream design from back in the day. So on both Fluid 4 and Fluid 5, on all sizes and stuff. We have a black one with white printing, and also we will have a white one with black printing. Yes. And where are the laser printed ones?
You want to spoiler them already?
I wouldn't do it, but
One.
only one. Oh,
I put them away because I don't want to spoil them, but you spoiler them.
Yeah, I kind of spoiled it already. Yeah. When does it plan to come out? Spoilering in spring. So it's spoilering.
Yeah, that's good. We need a spoiler.
Well, yeah, it's a good spoiler. I mean, laser print on plastic is around for a while. You already mentioned it, but usually as a detail on the hard shells and stuff. But Matthias came up with a really funny idea to laser print frames, and it gives it not only a nice touch because it looks like bright printing, but it's actually the burnt plastic itself. So it will last longer if you grind over it. And even if you grind it away from the whole surface, it's burnt inside the surface. So even if it's like on level 0, it's still you can still see it. So it's a really nice details with some nice typography designs. Mark Moreno did, and I gave some input with the team. Will be also different models with different designs. So this coming soon. Those are ones coming first, and the next one will be the suspension frames, probably. Yeah.
And some of the Fluid 4s actually come as a pack together with
Slider too, because those will be team frames. Yeah, this is just
so it's
like
a little bit different. Yeah.
Yes, we will get some extra stuff.
Yeah.
With the sliders and good hardware, obviously. So those will be team frames, and you have some incentives for me, John Bolino, and Yuto Goto, and Nicoli now too, if he uses them with us, because he goes the big wheel directs.
Hey, can I ask you? On some skates, there's like this little plastic part here, right?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Slider, toe protections, like that thingy. Slider.
Think slider, right?
Yeah, slider.
And the reason that most people call like the small wheel, the Kizer wheel, a grind wheel, and anti-rock. So there's already 2 names.
Yeah.
And now you calling this a slider, so it's a third name, but the third name is also something that's already something else.
But usually the thingies that you mentioned on the site is not an aggressive market. Sometimes the terms are used in different markets for different thingies, like with skateboarding with names and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I understand the point you mean. It's a slider for FSK, but for aggressive, the term, there was never a slider in aggressive.
Not that I know.
No, yeah, I know. This is why then we end up calling this the Higgs boson too. Yeah, Higgs. You can call them the Higgs boson now. Yeah. And the reason why they don't call them anti-rockers itself, it's in my eyes, even anti-rockers themselves are in own world, and it's like a rabbit hole because they are European anti-rockers. Sometimes we have anti-rockers which are pure plastic, without bearings, with bearings, and these kind of things are a bit more complicated because they have bearings, and they have this unique shape, which helps like with the Higgs boson style.
He had grind rocks before.
Yeah, that's the third name. Yeah, there are many terms for these kind of things. We just wanted to separate them basically from undercover and the grind wheels. Yeah.
These grind wheels are one of the best on the market. The shape is nice, but it's good to have like a plastic one with
bearings.
With bearings.
The never click one.
Less click. Yeah. If you need to roll over something, you still roll. Yeah. So
we also enjoy them a lot. Yeah.
So let's look at the suspension because there's a lot of misconception about it.
Yeah.
I have seen it a couple of times already before, and even I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Can I show?
For sure.
Because I thought that it would be like a little whip up. How do you call that? Like the play seesaw. A seesaw.
Yes, right. Yes.
So these 2 wheels would be able to go like
yes,
up and down.
Yeah.
But if one goes up, the other goes down.
Yeah.
Because there's an axle here. But in reality, now I found out because Eugen told me, it's also possible for it to go like this. So
basically every wheel can move separately.
Separately. Yeah. And they can like all 4 at the same time can go down as well.
Yes. And we like maybe the ball example wasn't the best yesterday, but even if you they hit like small corners, one will move, the other one not. It's almost like in cars suspension system. You ride smoother. Yeah, in total, yeah.
Like a little carving too.
Yes. I loved them. I told you, remember when I asked there was some ones, I love the carving. Which is like, okay, we didn't plan to for this aspect, but nice to know if you use softer rubbers.
Yeah.
Carving is amazing with them.
Carving, what do you mean, in the bowl carving or carving?
Even on the ground,
Where do you go?
because you have like a rocker, like banana. So on the curves, you really feel always touching.
Yeah.
And stuff. It's really funny. It's really good.
And can you explain the bowl transition carving example as well?
Yeah. It's if you have like say an anti-rocker frame and you have like tight bowl corners or like the skateboard style DIY quarters, which are really tight, and it always feels like you're smashing against the wall. You need to skate those usually really sideways. But when you skate them sideways, you have less frictions because only two wheels are touching at one time at a certain point. But with these frames, since they are forgiving on the outside, when these go up with the pressure of you rolling up, the middle wheels will still touch the surface. So you have more control, more grip during the full experience of tight corners, let's say more DIY bowls and these kind of stuff. Yeah, so it's another interesting aspect that came up while testing them.
Yeah. So carving in transition makes it so that you actually ride flat. So as it's a lot easier then, and instead of riding into rocker because of the transition you're on the other wheels.
More
So smart.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that is.
And it's up with two different hardnesses.
Also, yeah, that's really important to mention. Depending on your size, depending on your weight, and depending on your preferences, what you want to do with those jumping gaps or rather, carve and do funny stuff.
And at the special prebax material we're using for the cushions.
Yeah.
What?
Prebax.
What's that?
Prebax is a material from a French company called Arkema, and it's called the Wonder material because it's all in the running shoes.
Yes.
So the running shoes, which gives specs energy, with that not a carbon solid side, basically prebax. So it's a TPU based material, but it's basically, it says it's proven where you can go on their webpage. It's like it has 10 times more spring than a TPU and holds much longer and gives much more energy back. So it's like and it's bio-based too. That's the very nice thing. So it's
the one thing that all the companies are always doing, what's called the race of technologies the last couple of years, when like the new guy won whatever marathon championships and they're always using these materials for the spring blade style shoes and stuff.
It's a very special material which is really good and lasts longer and has more shock absorption, and this is a pretty good material.
Really high-end frame, high-end specs. It's like, obviously it's not as if you are not so into hardware.
Yeah.
It's probably not your first choice to do if you just want to have a simple, I don't know, anti-rocker frame. But if you're interested into new experiences, if you try on something different, or if you want to, let's say you're into jumping gaps, into bowl skating, this is like a really interesting option because you get a lot with this product.
And then if you get it and you don't like it, you can just take out these things as well.
Yeah.
Put the Shift Unlimited hardware.
Yeah.
These spacers will fit in these holes, so then you can just make a normal frame out of it as well.
Yeah, and not just the normal. I tested it as a flat frame. I told, but yes, because I enjoyed this the system. But nowadays I want to have less weight. I was skating shadows, with all the parts quite heavy. So I tested them without the suspension, and they're really good functioning flat frames. Like the groove is almost like an Aeon smoothed out groove. So it's it's like not super flat like other flat frames on the market, deep enough, but the smoothed out corners with a bit of slimline-ish designs on the side makes the H-block tricks a bit more chill and easier. Good sidewalls and stuff. You have also the rockering option. You can play around with slightly bananas or go full flat or high-low. Or high, you could literally go high-low. You could like harder, let's say 58s in the middle.
High-low means bigger on the outside, smaller on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can go like hard 58s on the middle. Okay, and soft, let's say 60s or something on the outside. It's definitely doable with those. Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of options.
When I was a Bladed Cup, a lot of the older skaters, they were all really happy, about this because they said, they want to have a frame which takes away their impact. It's better for their old bones. Yeah, and so they're a lot of these guys looking forward to having a suspension frame again in the direction which physics was. And a little bit simplified, we try to have less parts and less weight. And every time they take it in the hand, it's like, oh, it's not so heavy.
Yeah,
so that's a good thing. Is we try to reduce the weight and keeping the function basically.
Yeah. So there's a couple of famous suspension frames from the past, and of course the Kizer suspension is really famous. I skated it myself, and then physics is really famous for me as well. Like a lot of people still talking about it. The physics had almost the same concept, but they had like the same like bridges from metal, but the bridges were all like in the same direction like this.
Yes.
So it had like twice as many axles for that as well. and it didn't have like the
Yes, and also it made it just heavier because
Yeah.
I need more hardware.
Yeah.
And this is what they improved with those frames.
so this is like physics, but it's actually improved.
Yes.
And we're using like a more speed type hardware, so we're using single axles here.
Okay.
So you have a thread on the one side, so it's also a little bit lighter, those axles.
Yeah.
And they are still made in steel, not in, in racing, they're made in aluminum, but they are made in steel. So they're also a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter. So we try to save weight, wherever possible.
Yes. And very cool. Yeah, we've been going through a lot of testing phase with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was not any work with
Quite long.
yeah, a lot of breaking, a lot of figuring out, but now they work. Yeah.
What were other concepts that you tried?
Not concepts, but improving the current concepts.
Yeah.
Playing around with different hardnesses for the rubbers, playing around with different materials for these kind of things, and different screws.
Different screws reinforcer, different materials, for casting this, and stuff like that.
It's obviously, like I said, it's a bit not the simplest product. So you need to make it as consumer friendly as possible, and not everybody is so geeky about stuff like me and can figure out how it's called, build it up together quickly.
Yeah.
So we tried our best to make it as smooth, as adjustable as possible. Yes, I really believe, like, especially with the older range of skaters in our sport, and the biggest enemy of older skaters is always like their knees and the lower back. So it's could be a really good option for them. Yeah.
Interesting. And then let's move on to the next thing.
Maybe first without this thing. Yeah. Step by step.
So I'm just saying we also have this out as a skeleton, we call it. So when we get us a frame without any hardware, basically, so you can have it, and
You don't have to buy full package.
Yeah. And we have a kit for only the hardware for the suspension. So if you buy it first as a frame only, you can always upgrade later to a suspension if you want, or you have a complete suspension. So there was those different packages coming.
Yeah, that's super interesting that you can also skate it as a normal frame and then like upgrade it. So it's kind of like this whole ecosystem now of like frames and frame hardware.
Yeah.
And within that ecosystem, there's now also a sole frame.
Yes.
And one of the downsides of a suspension frame, in my opinion, is the extra height. I don't like extra height. So this was like easy 4 millimeter probably of extra height. We need that for the suspension. So it's it's a necessary evil for suspension frame.
Yeah.
But with the sole frame, you got like
You cut out most of the, let's say, you get it back that you mentioned.
you get it back again because the sole frame is so much lower because now it's integrated, the sole plate and the sole frame. So this is having a suspension frame and a sole frame makes so much sense to take that necessary evil aspect actually away.
Yes, it's smart. It's almost like a lot of ideas over the years. Matthias always keeping everything in mind over all those years. He almost like waited, so he had enough ideas, so they collide and they kind of like, it's actually what happened.
They fit together.
They fit together like, oh, we always wanted to do suspension frame, but we want to do a sole frame. Oh, wait, we can combine it. He basically smartly with the designers together, they found a way to make everything work in a smart way. And like, same as this frame, basically it's winged up. Based on this frame, same groove, same dimensions, same hardware, same everything. You just have, it sounds only, but you have extra wings. But it's also really smartly designed with like the cuts everywhere. So you have like even less weight and stuff. Also fitting the extra holes. They fit most of our products with our, these kind of extra holes. Also they fit Salomon, if I remember right.
They fit Salomon.
A couple of molds of the Salomons. Yeah.
Basically, we, for a lot of the, starting from some years ago, we're using the same hole pattern on like all the skates. So like the sways and stuff like this. So they all use the same hole pattern. So then it's easier to exchange the sole frames and the plate.
Sways and what other models?
Oh, maybe I should not say what that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's like it's the sways, and we actually, I think the ACT is based on it.
We checked the ACT, also the outside holes who fit those.
So Umberto knows the best because he did it. But basically, we're using the same base for all the sole plates. So it's getting more or less a little standard for mounting holes, and you don't have to drill and lead it our bolts and our shoes. More bolts and more holes and make it more unstable. And
or just to say the other way around, like all the new products coming in the future will have this system.
yes, yeah.
Like say like this, it's easy. Yeah. So yeah, it's like with the sway plate and like the older sway models. But yeah, this is one aspect with the extra holes, which I enjoy because sole frames is nice to have these kind of products, but I'm always a fan for flat boots, especially with my carbon background, to have extra holes.
Yeah.
So you avoid the classical dashy kind of stance. with the extra holes because you have like extra bindings to correct the stance basically after doing topsides, royals and stuff. So I'm a big fan of those. You can literally avoid basically the UFS and play around with other wheel configurations. I obviously want to go full low for grinding. I will use probably small wheels, rocket them all the way up and get as low as almost as an Aeon or something on my carbon boots. So this is also interesting for the people using the suspension to get a bit lower, but also for me, kind of the grind people guys who want to get a setup which is really light and really close to the ground. Yeah.
I have a question. Can you think about different configurations? Can you also do the suspension only on the outside? No, right? Like the outer wheels suspension, or there's only the middle wheels?
It's not possible. We never tested it, but I think since the rubber is locked itself and the thingy wouldn't move, it should move. We don't want to guarantee to trying stuff. Disclaimer: don't try it. But the option, it's interesting. We never thought about it. No, never tested this.
And anti-rocker, can you because you know how people are just getting the Aeon anti-rocker as well. Just is the night you're like, it's not so.
I tested it like this. You can rock anti-rockers and it's okay for anti-rockers. But with
Anti-rocker suspension, is that possible?
yes, basically yes. But is it worth it? But possible is everything. Yes, it will fit and stuff.
Yeah.
But the anti-rockers won't be pushed to a flat level, obviously. Yes, but possible it's for sure.
Yeah.
I tested those. I was more curious if I can rock up anti-rocker so the flat groove actually fits in anti-rocker. Yeah, you don't have the Aeon situation where you have like a triple groove. Yeah, but it works here. And obviously with undercover we now have different sizes for anti-rockers. And if you use like 49 millimeters, the biggest anti-rockers, it will definitely fit with a good anti-rocker groove here. Yeah. This is because this is like kind of my dreams. I'm playing around with those frames. I will definitely skate them flat, but I figured out like how else can I tweak them to make them even better for grinding and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, tons of options. We never thought about the wing option yet. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, you know what you're doing in the afternoon.
Yeah, I will test. Yeah.
And you can also just do only the front. Maybe you want to have like more like by Mac you don't want to have your suspension, but in the front maybe you do, or maybe the opposite.
Maybe even only for the back, for the heel braces on gaps and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought that when you push with your toes, you don't want suspension. Yeah, because you want to have the what's called the energy transfer, the perfect one. So keeping the toes, no suspension, putting suspension in the back. I never thought this way. This is quite interesting actually.
That for sure works if you just have,
Yeah, in the back it's easy. Yeah.
just fix this and this at a pose or maybe one. Yeah, good option, definitely.
Yeah, it's a long rabbit hole. It's like with the tri-rockers and stuff, you could go on forever.
And what flat boots does this fit? First, is the carbon gonna have the holes as well?
It will have.
Yeah, and the UT7, which is now the.
As a UT7 current, extra holes are different. It's like different. They're like one here, one here, one here. They're different. But like we said, for future models, Powerslide will probably obviously go for these extra holes on all models. It's just this is a bit ahead the current models. Yeah, but it's just
will the God 7 skate also have those holes then?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Starting now it will. Yeah. But yeah, the dream would be to have all flat boots that we offer, be compatible with this. Yeah, and SX roads. Yes.
Awesome. And then all flat boots, because basically aggressive skates have like flat boots and you have raised heel boots. So there's only two types of bottoms, and it will fit all flat boots.
Yes.
And
we have something special for the heel raise boot on the market. We're working on these kind of thing.
So can we show it already? Yeah. Already, I think it's coming with with the frames.
Included in the frame?
It's not included. We will sell them extra because you don't know.
It will be like hardware. Yeah.
You don't know if they have flat boots or heel raise boots. So, but
there are options, extra options.
I think we already showed it also, like at Interclash one.
Yeah. So it's not a secret. So we worked also on this kind of heel raise adapter, which fits most of the heel raise boots, because there are slight difference between the heel raise boot on the markets and stuff. Usually it's just millimeters and stuff. And we tried this one out for this race in our models and a couple of the other models too, and they fit and it's nice. But Ivo mentioned something interesting today. Matthias didn't even know yet. Maybe you should mention it again, because there was like a funny discussion between how about the stance?
Yeah.
About the natural stance in heel race boots.
Yeah.
And I never thought about this early on, because obviously I have a flat boot carbon background and stuff and shadows. But it was quite interesting. So maybe we want to talk about it?
I think the front is raised here.
Yes, front is raised as a little toe race.
So the back is flat, and because that's the thing what you want to explain is that there's an angle difference.
Yes.
And you can choose, like, do you want to have the back flat or you want to have the front flat?
Yes.
If you have the front flat, then the back has an angle. If you have the back flat, then the front has an angle.
Yeah. And we talked about it today. That's quite interesting. So this is basically for the stance where the heel is flat, but the toes will slightly rise up.
Yeah.
But this is usually also the stance that you have by all the sole plates,
Yeah.
which are offered for heel race boots. Let's say this way. Also have a flat heel, but it's slightly raised toe. You don't see it because the sole plate is covering. Same for all the Rosie's models. Same for, we don't know, we didn't test it, but I believe same for most heel race boots on the market. The sole plates kind of corrected a tiny bit.
Yes.
So you have like a flat heel. But Ivo mentioned something interesting, because the natural stance for these kind of boots would be actually to be flat on the toes, and this to have the natural stance should be a tiny bit angled and a tiny bit higher, so you're flat on the toes. That's as you mentioned today.
At least all the ice skates are, and the FCO is like that as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned maybe there could be another one for people who want to have this kind of more natural toe stance.
Yeah. Or if you want to have the back flat, then obviously if you put this on it, the toe will go up. So you have space. So it will be, or either like, yeah, aesthetically not so pleasing because you have some room here.
Yes.
And you cannot maybe push it down with the bolts just.
Yeah.
Maybe you can a little bit, but maybe you need a little bit of a wedge here as well. Fill the gap, fill this up as well if you want to have that position. Yeah.
Like we kind of, like we said, we didn't consider this option because this is based on, let's say, more customer focused. And since customers are coming from their sole plate or like a sway user, they are already used to a flat heel stance. But this was interesting. We definitely keep it for the future. We talked about Umberto. You already saw Umberto in the universe and kind of thinking and imagining it. Like, yeah.
No, we talked about it before that, basically the last comes from shoes and from running and skating, and they all have a little toe raise because normally it improves your push.
Yes.
On the front. So it's like,
because it's more like the running natural stance of tight high toes and stuff. Yes. Yeah. And another tiny aspect was those, not only the holes fit, they have like extra hexagonic kind of out thingies. So they fit the hexagon holes here. So they lock in easier while adjusting them and stuff. So yeah, they're basically made to fit those sole frames. Yes. This is the other aspect. But the wall position wise it's a long rabbit hole discussion. It depends on your preferences, obviously. But this is more focused on how the sole plates fit. So this will fit similar. Yeah.
Those very cool, guys. I want to congratulate you with the very cool product. And also having the sole frame with that, it's so awesome. Yes. That it can fit on all the skates that have a flat boot. And then also you can mount it on heel race boots. Super cool.
I mean, it's been a long road. It was long. Yeah. And Matthias was kind of watching as an observer for a while. He's still in contact with the scene, so he saw people cutting off Aeons. Yeah, was on setups. He came up with the idea quite early already.
years ago. Yeah, it was years ago.
Yes.
But yeah, this took quite long to get everything together.
Yeah.
And then the testing also took quite long.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you were the best there. From the other guys, it was always, come on, guys.
It's hard. It's hard to convince people to test new stuff, especially if it's something that they never used before, and people are like, let's say, they're used to their habits. So I'm always into geeking new products. So I was excited about this. But usually people who are more into hard boots and traditional kind of concepts, it's harder to get them to test kind of these things. Yes. But it's working.
Some more options for people to choose.
Yeah.
For the setup they love, or, make them a little bit special.
Yes.
So there are, I think, a little bit more Kizer products, but they're not on the table. We have the NTR, is it? NTR frame?
The shift ones?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No,
You're talking about the big wheel frame.
the big wheel frames there. 4x80, 4x84, and 4x90.
Yeah.
We have right now in stock and on the market, designed by Nicola Torelli.
Yes. So it's like NTR. I only figured that out yesterday that it was like Nicola Torelli.
Yes.
FDNR. So he designed that frame, and that's why also there's like this bandana packaging. It's already nice.
Yes, this was his idea too.
Yeah.
And they're really specific because they're not like, because most of the other companies on in this kind of direction, let's say more wizard inspired, big wheel, aggressive setup direction, they literally copied the rockering itself. But for those frames, Nicola got a bit hardcore and is like, no, people need to rocker them themselves and stuff.
Yeah, his approach was like, no, the wizard scene is already some years old, and now the skaters got better. So in the beginning, they all need to rocker their frames to do the tricks.
Yeah.
But now they are getting better, and they don't need a rockering in it anymore, and that's why he called it edge, because with this frame, you're creating your own edge. And with your own edge, creating the own edge on the wheels, you're creating your own rockering. So he says you give them a little bit of skating, and then you create your own rockering the way you skate.
It's almost a tiny bit like anti versus flat. For him, wizard skating is too much anti-rocker. It's like I believe you're making it too easy. I believe like it doesn't count. Make your own rocker. Yeah, like so we make your own groove. Groove
Shape, make your own shape, your own deal. But yeah,
so he grooves them in.
So this is a 5-wheel flat frame?
no, the 5-wheel is not that. That has a rocker.
Hey, this is a funny aspect. Like that's yeah. So for the now long ones, because at this length, grooving them in will be a bit hard. Yeah, I did it once with the downhill frames. It's quite some work on long frames. But for this one, Nicoli was really picky, and he hit like a really decent natural rocker that he was like, this is it. This is like the best experience you will get on 5 times 80. Yeah.
Can you say something about that rockering? Like normally I think it's 1 millimeter up or something, but now how is this?
Complicated. It's complicated because it was, I don't know, the fourth or the third version we had. So we had a different rocker, and we had the first one was a little less. Then we went quite out with more, I know, and then it was too much for rockering. And then that's basically what we have on the, I think it was a third or fourth version. Yes, on the rocker.
But we talk about differences of like 0 point something millimeter.
0 point,
Nicola is like
really bakey and stuff like this. So it's like, yeah, it's always like very little.
It's basically it's inspired by a natural rocker, which most of people use, like the traditional wizard frames, but also like an N and Endless. But he kind of customized them into what he believes the most. And Nicoli, yeah. But yeah.
So this is also the NTR frame, right?
This is the edge.
It's the edge. Okay. Oh, the
NTR.
yeah. The 4 wheels frames are NTR, and this is called the edge.
I think this
5 wheels edge. Yeah.
Will it be also an NTR edge frame, or is it like
it will become also aftermarket? Yeah. Okay. But the first release basically is on the complete Icon skate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
good to know.
yes.
Yeah.
But will this also have like the bandana packaging and
In the aftermarket, yes, we'll have then. Yeah.
interesting. Very cool. And will there be like more wheel configurations, like 4x100 maybe, or like
Right now not. Right now not. But in the future, maybe in the future, it's like you never know where the trends go. I guess
Depending on Nicoli also what he prefer, like
where he, like he said, the basic is 4x80 and 4x90, and I think 4x84. It's a nice size. A lot of skaters who are like 42 size, 43 size. They're always saying, the 4x80 is a little bit too short, and the 4x90 a little bit too long. So there's quite some skaters I know they love the in between 84 size a little. So that's why we added them in, and I think those are the basic sizes which will always work, and they always worked on urban, focus on and see where it's going. But for sure, you never know where things go and what skaters want and what trends they come up, and everybody has their preferences for a setup. So
yeah,
it's just like one more option for people to
What's the retail price for the 5-wheel frame?
Good question. I don't know yet. Could be around 150, I would say.
Yeah. Then
I would.
Is that would be something like that? Then it would be the cheapest 5-wheel frame on there.
It's a deal, obviously. That's like, I think the other ones are 100, and what are the short ones? Oh no, the other ones are, I don't know, 130 around, 140. Yeah, it was way hard.
Oh, you mean the 4x80? Yeah.
From
The competitor prices. Oh, I remember.
They were 150 or 400. That was the goal, to be competitive.
I think the cheapest one is the rollerblade flow frame. They call it flow skating. So I'm gonna go.
The new one. Yeah.
I'm using that term as well on this. In the Arsenal,
call it flow skating. Yeah. Instead of like Wizard or Flat.
Yeah, because Wizard is a brand name. So makes sense to call it.
That's funny. Oh, okay. So it's like, so yeah. What's it, people? It's okay. It's always funny if Robert does this with their history of having the rollerblading name and stuff.
Yeah, but they don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, makes sense. Flow skating, funny. Yeah. But yeah, it was Kizer now, so it's not only grinding hardware anymore. I mean, Kizer had the long history with the power blading.
Yeah, I'd say they did power blading with the big wheels. So
Yeah.
and that's I guess the powerhouse with Rishi and Dustin and what Ollie did.
And later on with the metal frames, it was the last years with the slicer
started the big wheel. That's I guess.
and also the lot of
Couple of history.
But was there a Kizer frame that you could not grind on? Because even like the 80mm version had the grind plate on it.
No, there was a power blade frame out of plastic without groove.
Yeah, but it's plastic.
Yeah, but it's also a metal frame without groove.
Yeah, but there's no groove, but it had a grind plate on it.
No. How is it called? Is the metal frame just the elements, but the newest ones, the 90 ones have no grooves.
Yeah, true. Yeah. We already, but that's last year. The history of Kizer, it's definitely going in a new direction.
Yes,
The element 8. I was thinking, I think it's how this judge.
there was even one before this, but the one you mean like it still had sliders on the side. Yeah. But this is what you're talking about. You're not talking about Wizard. It was still power blading, was still always having a tiny bit of grinding and
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It was a try of creating the bridge. Yeah, between the elements. Yeah, and now this is what we wanted to kind of and now
And in a way, new direction the last couple of years for Kizer to go also in the big wheels.
spread a bit. Yeah.
I like that. I like the new direction. I like making the bridge between urban and aggressive.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was always Kizer was always a brand, with big wheels and So it's a little bit going back to the legacy, and now we have Nicola on the team, and definitely as a Force Pro. So he's what he's liking, and that's I think his skating style is really nice and overall, and he has a good influence on the market and everything, and showing as a good icon to have.
And I also love that Kizer the last couple of years, especially with the rebranding, kind of got back to its core of being a hardware brand, because years before it was not under the shelf, but it was always a brilliant frame. I love the Kizer 3.4. In my eyes, the only real anti-rocker frame on the market, because all the other anti-rocker frame on the market, you can actually skate flat. Credit to original, you could skate flat.
Yeah,
Flat through Featherlight Force, you could skate flat if you want to. Edwin did.
flat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you hit the groove. You remember? It's inside, but he still skated in flat.
Yeah.
He was great.
Fatlight 3 is also.
But I think this is one of the only real anti-rocker frame which you can only skate anti-rocker. It's basically designed. Is there another one?
No, it's just not true. What you say, like Edwin skated the Fatlight 3 flat. That's true, but he was the only one in the world that.
But he did.
But you would be better off with.
Yeah, for sure.
flat than
Functioning wise, for sure. It was designed for grind wheels. The groove was also designed for blind airs. But I mean, like, there was always this option group-wise that you could skate more, which I never understood. This was why I was so happy to have a stronger, wider groove, which lasts longer, because it's actually designed only for anti-rocker. No extra weight cutting for flat options or whatever. This is why I always love these frames.
Yeah, for anti-rocker, it's my favorite.
Yeah, me too. It's simple and it's working, and especially with super fluid, super good. What I want to say is, like, we're fading out to the universe again. I love that Kizer's coming back to hardware with all the screws. Kizer now offering the screws that you can't strip. If you strip them, you have the hexagon on the outside.
Yeah.
You can use an extra tool. The new other hardware stuff like tools and then how it's called, adapters and these kind of stuff. So it's going a bit more back to its roots.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's why we brought the stream back.
Yeah.
Because the Kizer stream, it was a classical frame. I remember when it came out and everybody actually had it in a skate park and was like, "Sir, this is the best marketing."
We were thinking, because we still have the mold actually.
We were thinking about, because the best thing would be to have it like really embody it into the frame. But it's a little bit old. It's a bit old school, and the mold itself is like the shape.
Yeah, the groove is really nice.
This is more state of the art right now with the dimensions for anti and flatters. Yeah, but you never know. It's an option, is certainly.
The Fluid 2 was
was popular.
Yeah, and now the Fluid 5 is like an upgraded Fluid 2 in a way. No?
Fluid 3 basically. The Fluid 2, then there's the Fluid 3.
Yeah.
The Fluid 3 is the updated Fluid 2. With the Fluid 3, the groove was steeper.
The Fluid 2 was a really good flat frame.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why the Fluid 5 is an upgraded Fluid 2. That's what I mean.
I believe the Fluid 5 is an upgraded Fluid 3.
No, right? Fluid 3 is and the Fluid 3 and the Fluid 4 are very similar. The Fluid 4 has a slightly wider groove. The Fluid 3 has a slightly smaller groove, but it's still like a really deep
Yeah. And this is what we based it on. Just filled the groove and made the Fluid 5 out of it, right?
Okay, yeah, you can say that. But it's really
Modified. And I think modified. I don't know 100%, but I remember because I was helping with this, yeah. And they made like the edges here, they made them round shaped and stuff. Like, because these edges are square. The old Fluid edges used to be square. And for the Fluid 5, we rounded these edges like, yeah, but just tiny details, yeah.
what I'm saying is that Fluid 3 and Fluid 4 are anti-rocker frames.
3 and Fluid 4. Yeah, I skated when I was younger. Fluid 3, true.
And the Fluid 5 are flat frames.
Yeah, they're real flat frames. You're right. And they're designed for flat. Yeah, this is how I grew up. I grew up with Fluid 3s and basically the flats. Yeah, I would like the Fluid 3. Dude, everybody, it's like a lot of people still hit me up. You should bring the Fluid 3 because this is perfectly for anti, but it's again like the core discussion. The Fluid 3 is still involved a bit more bending and like you need still to go deep and stuff, but it was still good for anti. This is like the best anti. This is almost like perfectly cheating.
I like the Fluid 3 better for anti. The walls were so thick.
Yes.
It's so easy to set slide on the Fluid 3.
Yeah. It always depends. Like I prefer sick walls too, but there was a friends of mine who skate bowls. They slip. Oh yeah. It's always hard. So this was kind of like let's only focus on anti-rocker. Yeah. But yeah, true. I didn't hear these kind of names or frames in a while.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I can't even. I have to imagine what was it.
Some at home. Yeah, that's why I don't. Then I already look at them. And I even saw the tools in the sample room. I was standing around and checking. Yeah, wow.
But you still have a Fluid 3 in the sample room?
Yes. I have a blue one I can show later, but maybe not now. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we need to touch on for Kizer? What's coming up? We have the bag, of course.
Yeah. Oh, the Fluid Shadow release. Yeah, the bag. Yeah, the bag is bad.
Yeah.
And a lot of people.
This is so many people's favorite bag, and it lasts so long.
Yeah.
It's like it's not been around for 10 years or something, and like still like everybody still use for 10 years. So it has a really good reputation now.
Yeah.
Yes, because people know like, oh, that bag, yeah.
And even all the, let's say, not competitors, but all the other bags, instead of copying, which was smart by other companies, they've been going a tiny different direction. Even the Massimo bag the focus of the Massimo bag is on something else than the Kizer bag. The Kizer bag for me is more of a traditional traveling bag. Yeah. With the extra feet for roll weights. So I think it definitely have, how it's called, the right for,
Only the roll weight brand, or also I go and use it.
The skating bags. Okay. Yeah. And inline skating bags. So I really believe it have its place, the Kizer bag, and I'm happy that we brought it. Yeah, I brought it back, but give it a new shape, new design, a couple tweaks here and there. Yeah. It's nice. I'm really happy with this bag.
Yeah, I'm happy the bag is back. And is there anything else we need to touch on for Kizer?
I think we spoiled already a couple of things with like the other team frames, and this one is kind of spoiler too because it's only coming soon.
No.
Yeah, you already know about this year, kind of.
No, we did a lot of new things, and cannot expect like every year the same thing. So we have now a lot of
the quadruplegic hours. Sounds like stuff is coming soon, so wait for it. The AI is integrating to frames coming at one point. We're working on it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for showing the new products. So I hope everybody's excited about it.
Yes.
Yep. And then we move on to the next category now, the next brand, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to do USD next?
We can go straight for it. Yeah. Should we go to the other room?
Yeah.
Those are there. The wing.